flour, butter, and water. You mix those together and you're going to get a type of dough. But baking isn't the only area which combining things can make something new. Tech can be combined too. In fact, this is one of the ways that you could create more complicated or advanced tech, is just by mixing two simple techniques together. Slowly, but surely, as you add more and more technologies into one concrete object or one set of ideas, you're going to create a complex system. This itself is a technology, comprised of a bunch of simple technologies. In some cases, when you have this system of technologies, you can replace entire parts with other technologies. Think of the car example that we talked about in one of the previous videos. You change the tires of a car, but you don't have to change it with an identical tire. You could use a slightly different technology. This creates a sort of modularity, especially if a system is designed with the intention of having certain pieces replaced. If you've ever built a computer, then you know that it's mostly just plug and play, and you have a lot of options when it comes to each part. That's because these computers have been designed to be modular. The idea of modularity and combining techniques is going to be absolutely huge. If you can break down a problem into a small, itty-bitty size piece and solve it, and solve each of those little itty-bitty size pieces and put it back together, you can solve a huge problem. That's how technology of today's age is approached. Problems are too big. And the solutions, well, they're too big for any one person to handle. You need a lot of people, which means you need to break it up into little pieces. Because technology is the pathway to solve our problems, well, each person has their own little part, their own little piece of technology that they reside over. This is good news because to understand a whole problem, you don't have to get the whole problem immediately. You can find a small piece and work with that. Alternatively, if you're modifying a technology, you could just modify one small piece of it. Using the example of a car, if you think of the metric that you're trying to improve a car towards is make it to where you could drive further. Well, if you improve just the wheels, that might help it drive further. And that has absolutely nothing to do with any other part of the car. The last thing to consider is that combining technologies doesn't always give you a result that you can expect. Two metals make an alloy, and complex systems can quickly get out of hand. That's just the power of chaos. So be wise when you combine technologies, but also be prepared to see something new. The sum can sometimes be more than its parts.